Hi, how you doing? What's happening? I'm Paul Machin, this is Mates TV. Those of you who know me or have known me and have watched my content, whether it's on this channel, it's on Ball Street, it's on, Redmen TV or whatever, will largely know that I'm a pretty glass half full kind of guy. I'm not going to lie to you. Liverpool, despite the fact that they are in touching distance at the top of the league, if they win their game in hand against Manchester United, they will be clear at the top of the league. They are in the last 16 of the Champions League in a very strong position with one leg to go against Bayern Munich. Yeah, I'm not handling this well at all. I am struggling. I am having, let's be honest, a shit time. I'm not enjoying the ride in any way, shape or form. And I really don't know what to do about that. I'm going to dive into that in a second because I normally come into these videos and I've got a plan. I've got an end point that I am striving to get towards, and I talk for a bit and then we end up with this and everyone feels loads better for it. Don't have that at the moment. I'm going to freestyle this. Before I do though, I need to tell you this video is sponsored by OneFootball. I have the app right here. It is genuinely fantastic. Listen, you're all wonderful, beautiful, intelligent, sexy people, and therefore most of you will already be on to OneFootball, and what a great football app it is. The best thing for me about it is the fact that you can filter out the news of all the football clubs that you don't care about, and you can drill down to the Liverpool one. So Liverpool, you follow this item, it says when it goes into focus, and it gives me all the Liverpool news. Klopp, Liverpool's final pass not good enough. I said that, which basically means I know loads about football. If you want to know more about football, get educated, get the OneFootball app. The link is in the video description underneath. Click through. It helps me look good. That's all good things. And it will help with my fractured psyche that is being caused by Liverpool having the best season they've ever had in domestic football. Yeah, what a weird world and position to be in. Bear with me a moment. I'm not handling it well at all, and whether it's a lot of other life pressures, and I think we all have things to deal with on a day-to-day basis, and I did a video on a similar line. I said something a few weeks ago. I said you don't really know sometimes when people are angry and people are down, it's not necessarily the thing that's right in front of them that's the root cause of the problem. It's a symptom. It might be something that sets you off, but often we don't know what happens behind closed doors in people's lives, and maybe it's a bit of that. Life isn't always rosy. The things that happen in our lives, it can be tough. Having young kids, it's hard. Not having loads of sleep is very difficult. Going through some stuff in home life is another thing, and not really the time and place for this on this channel, of course. Maybe something in future, but for whatever reason, and I don't think I'm alone in this, I'm just not enjoying the ride. I've been preaching this. I've gone on Redmen and I think it's great. And I see a lot of people who are maybe a little bit older than me. I seem a lot more confident about all this thing. I've seen a lot of people stop being shit houses, stop being melting. I think there's a reaction that I don't agree with. I don't agree with people who are totally and utterly losing their heads over this, and people who think that Liverpool are bottle jobs or whatever because they draw a game of football. I think that's nonsense. I think it's noise. I think it's a modern affliction to think that everything that happens in a week's worth of football is the be-all and end-all of absolute football. It's not, particularly with the season. There's a reason there's 38 games in a season, because they all have to be played to get to the end of that season. But as far as enjoyment goes, this has probably been the least enjoyable season. Why is that? How is that possible? How is it possible that Liverpool only lost one game in the league so far this season, and yet I'm sat here borderline depressed with how things are going? Everything feels like it's on a knife edge. Like, I feel sick when Liverpool aren't winning. I feel ill. I'm sat, and this goes for European games as well. I was watching the Bayern Munich game the other night, and I was just stood there soaking in and watching two great teams, two European heavyweights going, toe to toe at Anfield under the lights. Great to see it. I've been there watching Liverpool play the second round or whatever it is of the League Cup, the shit round of the League Cup you get into when you're not in Europe. I've seen play FK Rabbit Nicky in the qualifying rounds of the Europa League. I was watching Liverpool and Bayern Munich right in front of my eyes from watching my boyhood club be involved in these big games, and I just had that deep-rooted feeling of just tightness in my chest, and maybe that's a health issue. Maybe we'll find that out in due course. Maybe someone who's medically trained will go in the comments, yeah, Paul, that's angina or something. Go and get that checked out by your nearest healthcare professional, and I will, and I'll be better for it. But I don't know how you're feeling about this, and that's why I feel like this. I don't know what I'm looking for this video. Normally, and people mentioned in the comments, they come to these videos to try and feel a little bit better about themselves, a bit better about life, and I'm not sure I've really got that for you this time around. Maybe I need it from you guys this time. Maybe someone can offer something to me in the comments, some crumb of comfort, or maybe just the shared experience of it if you feel like you're going through the same thing. Let's have a bit of a chat in the comments on it. I'm here for that this time around. Let me know your thoughts on how you're handling the season so far. Because if I'm on my own, then that'll help. If everyone else is feeling cool about it, then that makes me realise that that's me. That's me. That's definitely got the problem, and not it's not a wider issue. It's something that I can get over. Whereas if there's lots of other people feeling kind of similarly, I'm interested to know whether this is a collective problem, a collective delusion we're all going through, because I think Man City being so good makes it hard, and it's weird to talk about things like that. And I say depression, I don't really mean it. Depression can come from wider senses. I hint at it. I'm not going to get into it. There's wider things happening in my world that are causing me to have an additional stress, and then of things that are drawing my mind to negative spaces and what have you. The football's normally a bit of an escape. Now, I don't go to the footballs for all-out enjoyment, because that's where entitlement comes from, and you get into, I pay my money and I expect to see football, good football and goals and winning. You don't get guaranteed that. It's a bit of a nonsense. It's a bit of a nonsense bollock statement, of course. But football is a hobby. It is a pastime. When I chatted to Jurgen in the summer, he said, we can go and do something else. Football at its most fundamental you have to gain enjoyment from doing it, because if you're not getting enjoyment from doing it, what is the point? Go and do something else. It's supposed to be about it's not life or death. There's bigger, more serious issues happening in our day-to-day lives, in the wider world. Politics, the environment, all that stuff. That's serious stuff. That's real stuff. Football is, regardless of what Bill Shankly said, and he said it's not a matter of life or death, it's more important that. Lovely Bill. Love Bill Shankly, absolute football hero, but that's just a nice soundbite. It's not a quote to live your life by. Football is a pseudo-religious thing, I get it, so I do take it seriously. We all do. If you're a fanatic of football, you do take it seriously, but there is a point in which you have to think, what am I getting out of this? Do I derive pleasure from it? And I think that's where I feel where I'm not too far gone in that regard, because I'm enjoying the wins. I am, and I'm enjoying the spells between the wins. But I wonder whether there's the external pressures, and maybe it is all the people who are losing their heads, and because so much of what we do and the usual space of modern football exists online, and those interactions, whether it's direct interactions or like Twitter as an example. I did a video a year ago about how football Twitter was fucking AIDS. And it hasn't gotten better. It's worse. It's AIDSier than ever. You don't need to follow bellends to see bellends in your timeline anymore. All it takes is someone to follow someone who follows someone who likes a post, and you're getting things recommended. You're getting things pushed into your eye line all of a sudden. And now you've got to develop, well, just block it, just mute it, whatever. The physical act of having to do it's too late. If you're blocking and muting, you've seen it. It's done already. Something's already pissed you off. So having to cope with all that, I think, is adding more stress and stealing away some of the enjoyment from this. At its base level, though, it might put down to this, is that in the 30 years that it'll be since Liverpool, well, the 29 years since Liverpool last won the league title, I've never seen Liverpool put a consistent run together. And you look at the stats, the best point tally I think Liverpool have ever had to a domestic, certainly to the Premier League, and I think almost certainly to a domestic football campaign in the top flight. This is it. And if I'm wrong on this slightly, it's in the top 1% of seasons so far that Liverpool have ever had. And maybe it's just because I'm used to Liverpool being a bit crap, and have I grown used to that? Have I grown used to the comfort almost of not having to go deep in things, of not having to have everything matter all the while? Because, when you're going for fourth, you can lose 5, 6, 7 games a season, and that becomes part of the expectation, part of the football, and then you have these massive heroic wins that counterbalance that. Liverpool have kind of been a bit this season. There haven't been the peaks and troughs of years gone by, and maybe that just feels weird. Maybe I feel, and I use the expression depression at times, the depression is not necessarily feeling utterly low. At times it's feeling nothing. It's not being able to truly embrace the ups and downs of things. It's maybe it's a little bit below the mean. And maybe that's what I feel. I feel like I'm edging a bit more towards that with this season, because this feels very odd. There is so much pressure on every single time Liverpool kick the ball, and not just because we need the league title, which we do. It's been a massive monkey on our back. It's stolen so much enjoyment from us. It's led to so much more anger and aggression and pressure than maybe there needs to be around Liverpool, the players, the football club as a whole. But it's having this week by week pressure and everything be on a knife edge. I just don't think we're just not trained to deal with that. I've not been raised to deal with that stress. I can hear my dad talk about how we used to do it in the past. We probably did it quite like this. Maybe not quite like it with the pressure coming from Manchester City. And that's the double hard thing, is that we're now coming towards the end of the season. This could be Liverpool's greatest ever season in terms of our points tally. We could finish second. How fucking heartbreaking and devastating and annoying is that? And it's that fear, I think, that lingering fear, that sword of Damocles that's hanging over my head. And I seem to feel this. I'm feeling this more acutely than ever. I don't know how I'll handle it. If Liverpool, I'd like to think that if Liverpool run it close and it's tight, and you can have a tangible thing that everything was given and Man City just pipped us to the post. I think pragmatically, we'd have to look at it and go, fair play, because look at Man City, look at all the funding, look at all the pedigree, the talent they've had, not just that they've just constructed a side for this season, they've had a world-class side now for a number of years. You'd probably go, okay, I can understand that, I can rationalise that, I can compartmentalise that. But it's very difficult to take the emotion out of football when it is a pseudo-religious experience. It's something you're so invested in week in, week out, particularly when you're there and you're in the stadiums and it's a living, breathing organism. But if Liverpool were to do it by some sort of catastrophic failure once again, I'm not sure how I'd come back from that. There's so much football to be played. There's so many games, so many minutes, so many kicks of the ball, so many potentials for things to be amazing and go tits up by the same logic. I can't believe that this shouldn't even be in me thoughts now. There's so much to go, so much enjoyment to be derived. Yet, here I am. I'm not enjoying it because my thoughts are occupied with the worst case scenario, because I daren't dream, because I've had my heart broken too much. I did a video in Kiev, inside the stadium, after the loss to Real Madrid, said Liverpool need to get out the habit of breaking our hearts. And it's happened time and time again. And I'm a Liverpool fan who's old enough to have experienced cup wins. I've seen it, just about old enough to see us win a league. I've been alive for a few league wins. I remember seeing us win one, but I don't remember the ride. I've been to cup finals. I've seen us be a cup side for all of my real life of being a Liverpool, and I've seen us do it the hard way, but do it. And I'm really, really struggling. So I understand doubly so. I can't even begin to imagine really why the people who've not seen Liverpool have success, who've watched Liverpool fall that hurdle time and time again, who've been a bottle club, the slip club, in the banter era where you have to deal with fucking Chelsea fans and City fans tweeting you gifs of Steven Gerrard every time you make a reasonable point on football. I feel for you, and if you're that, let me know. Let's have a chat in the comments below underneath this. Let's see if we can all collectively help each other out, because I don't quite have the answer. I can look at it rationally, but my fucking chimp brain is going mad here, and my rational brain is having a very hard time shouting that down, particularly when I'm also working in an industry where the noise is ever increasing, ever loud, ever vociferous from all kinds of quarters, not just from fans of other football clubs who fucking hate it and want it all to fall down around our ears, but again, people within the fan base who haven't got that staunch, belief or that nature who are able to let it flow over them. We need more of those people. We need to listen to more of those people. I think I need more of those people in my life. I need to spend more time with my dad is what I need. But if you're that kind of person, get involved. Let's have a chat. Let's have a big chat in the comments below. Look, if you can drop a like on this video, that'd be much appreciated. If you could subscribe to the channel, more fun stuff coming on the horizon. If you need more videos that make you feel better about Liverpool, there's a few. I'll put a couple up on screen. There's plenty more on the channel. Other than that, thank you very, very much, everyone. Enjoy the ride if you can. If you can't, and help people like me enjoy it more, please. Other than that, thanks very much. See you all soon. Ta-ra.